Really? Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday to everyone, or whatever day you happen to be watching this live. I am Christina Garrett, and we are live today for the Purposeful Productivity Challenge. So, listen, here's what has been going on today. Of all days that you want to show up and be great, you don't want to have any tech issues. But on the days when you have something really important on your mind, that's the day when you have some challenges. And so, shout out to my ladies who DM'd me and told me that they were having trouble actually seeing the live. Thank you for that. And thank you for everyone who is joining us today. I'm really excited about this challenge. I've been thinking on it for the last few days about how we're going to elevate and create a new path to success. And so this week, Monday through Wednesday, we're going to be talking about purposeful productivity, not just throwing some things together, not just creating the quickest path to doing something, but instead making sure that everything we do is intentional, that it is purpose driven, and it is fruitful. Okay, I have been doing all the things this week. And one of the things that I've unmasked or worked on creating a path to was how are we going to do this without the stress? Without the overwhelm, without feeling like we're not capable of being the person that we actually want to be. Very often, we are women who are on the move. We are leaders and creating new paths for our communities. And sometimes, even the best of us can feel like we're at a standstill. Okay. Now, with the children home from school, summer break is creating a whole new challenge for many of us. So that's just one component. That's just one part of us trying to make it work. Okay. And then beyond that, very often we are trying to get over some of the humps that we're in prior to the kids coming home, prior to any changes in our lives or in our focus. We already needed to be more productive. We already needed to ground ourselves in some new ways. And so today, for a little while, if you join me and we catapult through this for about 30 minutes, I want you all to look at our pillars of productivity. It's been a little while since I've shared these. I've done some master classes around it before, but I think that sometimes we need big thoughts or big moves in smaller actionable steps so that it doesn't feel as daunting or as overwhelming as if we were going to try to hurry up and create a new path all at one time. Okay. So we're going to get into that today for just a little while. All right. I am excited. We're live in our Facebook group. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and get into it. If you are new here, or maybe you haven't seen me live in a while, I am Christina Garrett. I am an organizational and productivity coach for working mothers, for brilliant women who know that they are called to lead. They know that they have something audacious that God has put inside of them to accomplish. And maybe, just maybe, they're tired of trying to get it all done and do all the things. They're ready to retire their superwoman cape. And so, for that reason, the Momathon Pillars of Productivity was born. I have been happily married now for 17 years, going on 18 this summer. I've been a pastor's wife for 16 of those 17 years. And I'm also a homeschooling mom of 5 incredible but very loud children, ages 6, 9, 14, and 16. And so I have had to learn how to implement what we're going to talk about today in my own life. I can't talk about everyone else. I can just talk about myself, right? I've had to implement these policies and procedures and frameworks into my own life. Okay. And because I could implement it and then do it again and again, I saw how it could work for more than just me. It also works for my clients as well. I have been coaching as in productivity, work-life balance, wellness, strategic planning for the past several years, and have been honored to support thousands of women across our different programming with all the tools they need to get more done without running away from home. Okay. And so for a little while today, we're going to go into our pillars. And I'm going to challenge you with grabbing your journal, grabbing your cup of coffee, and coming and bringing it here to this space with an open mind and an abundant thinking, with abundant, blossoming, everything is possible ideas so that you can see how we're going to increment this for you. Okay. Now, the reason we're here is to help you reinvent what work balance looks like for you, what life balance looks like for you, and yes, what rest balance looks like too. Okay. And we do all of this through strategy. You got to have a plan. And through care for self and for your family. You got to know what matters most. And then I also like to focus on celebration driven goals. Like I've been asking my clients this year, what do you want to celebrate at the end of the year? Not just, all the things you want to do so that you say 2024 has been good to you, but sis, what do you want to celebrate at the end of the year? What do you want to take, the confetti and say, you know what, girl, you did that this year. You really shook it up. You really handle business. I want to be that person. Okay. I want to be the woman that is focused on what's possible, not just making it, not just holding on for dear life. Good morning. Okay. Not just trying to create some kind of plan to do something, not adding in more attributes to my current plan because I saw so and so doing this. I want to have my own definition of productivity. Okay. I have had moms who were interested in coaching, and some of them have said, I'm not sure I want to identify as being more productive. The idea of productivity, good morning, kind of triggered them a little bit. Okay. The idea of productivity kind of uprooted them internally because I don't actually want to do more. And I had to tell them with so much love, productivity is not about doing more. It's about identifying the things that matter most and incorporating every part of who I am into that place. True productivity, like actually doing what matters, we're going to define that today. But I don't want anyone to feel like it means Christina is going to throw more things to do at you. Or I'm going to give you all of this homework. Or I'm going to pile on you extra things to do every week. Or no, we don't just grab things to do and throw it at the wall, right? Instead, we're going to align what we want to celebrate at the end of the year with what I need to do today. Okay. I'm going to align what I want to celebrate at the end of the year with who I need to be today to accomplish it. Okay. So let's get to know each other a little bit better. If you're watching, if you're on the replay, we're glad to have you still. Okay. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you're a mom of 1 to 2 kids. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a mom of 1 to 2 kids. All right. Put a 2 in the chat if you have 3 to 4 kids. All right. If you've been busy. All right. Put a 2 in the chat if you have 3 to 4 kids. And then put a 3 in the chat if you have more kids than you have hands. Okay. Put a 3 in the chat if you have more kids than you have hands. I'm a mom of 5. So I'm 3s all day. All right. Somebody asked me the other day, she was like, are these all your children? I was like, yeah. She said, did you birth all of them? I did. She was like, oh, okay. All right. So yeah, they're all my kids all day, every day. All right. So I see some 1s. Hey, ladies. Okay, I see a 2. All right. She says she's a mom of 3 to 4. And then I see a 3 here too of moms who have 1 million children like I do. All right. Okay. So all of this is to help us get to the goal. Now this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I might leak over to Thursday if I have time. Okay. We're going to go through the pillars of productivity. All right. I'm going to give you the first one today. And the other three might all need their own separate day. So I'm kind of excited about, this giving you guys an opportunity to meet me every day and really compile on, starting with a strong foundation and then building on top of that foundation to help you get where you're going. Okay. So the first pillar of productivity. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Natalie. The first pillar of productivity is to create a family vision. Okay. To create a family vision. Hi, Miss Lynn. The important part of this is to reevaluate what's truly important. In times like this, in the society we live in now, very often we have a vision that is self-oriented, or we have a vision that doesn't encompass the needs of the entire family. So today we're going to work on the family vision. Tuesday, okay, tomorrow, I have booked this off of my calendar every single day. So we might be able to do this for Thursday too. Since we have 4 pillars, we might need 4 days. Okay, I'm going to teach y'all. I'm going to give you everything I got. So tomorrow is to communicate your needs and unnecessary tasks, like the things that you need to be able to talk about. Hey, ladies, you need to be able to talk about and unpack and what's working and what's not working. So part 1 is create a family vision. Number 2 is communicate your needs to your loved ones or to your team. Day 3, okay, is to learn to delegate like a diva. That really needs its own day. It really needs its own day, because this is what everybody wants to do. Like, everyone wants to jump ahead to the delegating so I can keep doing what I want to do. Yeah, right? That's the most important thing. But very often we have skipped over the family vision. We've skipped over communication because all I want to do is delegate so somebody else does the work and I get to go do what I want to do. It needs its own day. Okay. And then number 4 is elevate your mission and your self-care so that the goals you've set, you automatically achieve. You're thinking bigger. You're thinking outside the box. You're creating something brand new. Okay. So today we're going to go through the family vision, and the other subsequent days at 11 o'clock Central Time, I'm going to be here to share with you all and coach you all and answer questions. Okay. All right. So first things first, let's define productivity. Okay. Productivity in the workplace is defined as the total amount of goods and service produced during a given time. The total amount of goods or services produced during a given time. But let's rewind to your personal productivity. Let's talk about you. This is defined as the output of an individual. You, mama, you business owner, you CEO, you speaker, you therapy coach, you a homeschooling mother. The output of an individual, a woman, make it personal, in a certain period of time in relation to your identified goals. Okay, in relation to the identified goals. One of the reasons that we do not feel like our productivity is on 10, one of the reasons we feel like we're not doing the things that we set out to do in its fullness with a stretched, workable capacity is because we have not identified our goals in a specific fashion. Okay, here's what this means. I mean that a lot of times you have an idea of where you want to go, but you haven't broken it down specifically. You have not said, I'm going to create this many clients, Stacy, right? I haven't said I'm going to create this many clients by this period of time. I'm going to have done this by this date. I'm going to do this by this date. I told my husband today is Monday. I told my husband on Friday or Saturday, we were sitting, it must have been Friday. I said, I'm going to generate the amount I need for my conference by this date. Okay, by this date. When I say I got a call over the weekend that I'm going to be flown to Chicago for a speaking engagement that got me 85% to my goal. But here's the problem. How do you even know that you are a percentage close to your goal? How do you know, the ladies who coach with me, that you're on track? If you have not identified it, broke it down, you know the number, you know exactly what you need to do in order to get to that goal. If you say you want to have this amount of clients, if you say you want to serve this many people, if we say we want to host this amount of women at the Mamathon conference, are you on track or not? And I'm a little bit on a tangent because sometimes we don't know if we're on track or not because you don't actually have a goal that you said that's numerical, that has a date attached to it, that has a deadline attached to it. How do you know if you're actually moving in that right direction or not? So productivity is not how much you get done. Instead, it's how much of your mission was accomplished by being mindful and intentional. In our coaching group, we have something called the 10K email. It is an email that I have sent out multiple times that have generated me 10K or more. Okay. But how I've told my clients, I'm like, you need to send 10K emails. If you have this particular goal, it's going to require this much effort. Are you on track for what you said you were going to do or not? Only you know that. I don't live with you. I might not be your coach. For this week, I'm coaching everybody. Okay. But right now, can you identify it? Can you see it to know and to determine if you're on track or not? That's really important, because often we tell ourselves a different story. We tell ourselves we're on track. I'm doing so good. But when you line up the numbers, that's not the case. Be honest with yourself. Be honest and identify, is what I'm doing working or is it not? Hi, Nia. Good morning, ladies. Okay. Is it working? Is it not? All right. So pillar number 1 is to create a family vision. The family vision is your picture, the ability to see your family's future, even if it doesn't exist yet. It's your ability to see your family's future, even if it does not yet exist. Some of us, we planned our babies, right? I have like some who were planned, some who were a surprise. Okay. But when you planned or once you found out you were pregnant, okay, you might have celebrated, you might have said some bad words. Either one is okay here in this space. We welcome all truths. But then you started to get some hope that there was going to be a certain life, a certain trajectory, right? That you were going to have. If you're married, if you're hoping to be married, if you just want to create a bigger impact, the family vision encompasses all of this. And so what plans, what vision do you have for your relationships, for your marriage, for your children? Okay. So Natalie says, you are preaching today, lots of opportunities flowing in, but getting them to monetization is another story. 100%, sister. All of that should be in your vision too. All right. So a family vision. All right. This is how we apply this. A vision statement is a sentence or paragraph that describes the goals of a company or a group, or in this case, the goal of your family. It states what you all are building, and it serves as a touchstone, a cornerstone for all your future actions. It should drive everything that you do. It should drive everything you do. There shouldn't be any, I'm not really sure what the focus is. It shouldn't be, I'm so all over the place that I can't ground myself, okay, and what matters. I did a podcast interview earlier this morning, and I was like, listen, some of us are so all over the place, right? Even with our families, that even when we're not working, we're thinking about work. You wake up early, you're working. You go to bed, you're working. You're click-clacking. okay, all day long, right? Trying to see ahead and trying to do all the things. I have learned to streamline much of my effort to make sure it all is working towards the family vision. There is no point in building if you lose your family in the process. Okay. Now, there's some things we just can't control. Some things life happens to the best of us. People pass on and transition. Relationships change. Our children change and they grow and they're getting big and mannish or womanish. You see your son and he got hair under his arm. And you like, I don't even want to know what's going on in this body. Like, I don't want to know. Go talk to your father, right? Like things are changing. My family vision has to incorporate what matters the most. I even dare to say that the family vision shouldn't just benefit the family, but it should paint a picture to your family about who you want to be while you parent them, while you're in a relationship with them, while you're in covenant with them. All of these things should matter. Okay. All of this should matter. We should be able to align ourselves on purpose. This is who I want to be. Christina, let me just talk about myself for a second, and you can put yourself into this story too. I never wanted for my daughter to feel like becoming a wife and a mom meant that everything that you loved or you wanted to do, you now had to put on the shelf. Because my family is a priority, right? I didn't want to show her that picture. I wanted to show her a mom who had work that she loved. I really love my job. I really love the work I do. I love planning the conference, even though it stresses me out sometimes. I tell my event coordinator, like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? And then I come right back to this very grounded moment of this is kingdom work. This is legacy work. This is beautiful. We're going into year 9 of the conference now. If you haven't decided if you're coming, you should just message me after this live is over. Okay. But I wanted her to see this kind of mom. I like to get my kids extra. I like to buy an extra ticket if I'm going to a women's event or something like that. She's coming with me. She's going to rock with her mama. Right? I want her to be able to see a mom who does work that she loves. And yes, I'm still going to do the best I can to be present for these other moments that matter. Okay. Not to let the work she loves overtake everything, but instead to really zero in and say, this is what we're building here and it's beautiful. Okay. So here are some questions that we need to ask today. All right. Here are some questions that we need to ask ourselves. Hold on. I'm going to go back a little bit. So I have my question list. Based on your idea of a family vision, okay, even if your family has changed over the last few years, if health demands have made you change, if job requirements have made you change, whatever your current season of life is, that's what I'm addressing. Okay, wherever your current season is, that's what I'm addressing. Because very often we want to create something based off of seasons that are gone. A season is different. Your season is different now. Your children are kind of grownish. You can go do what you want to do now. You can plan for that. Your kids are no longer the reason that you're not successful, that you haven't made it. Your kids are no longer the reason. Who else are we blaming? We blame our husbands, right? We say it's their fault. Surely he should have done this, that, or the other. That's the reason why I haven't made it yet. I've had women come and talk about coaching, and they said, my husband said I can't. That's fine. That's fine. But what do you say? Do you feel like this is something that's valuable? So we got to bring all these people into the equation. We got to bring all these ideas and these thought patterns into a focused, streamlined way and say, I'm included in my own family vision too. Some of us, we're always looking for, pointing towards someone else is the reason why the vision hasn't come to life yet. But what if it's down to me saying yes, or me redefining, or me being okay with moving forward? So based on the factors above, or the factors that we have mentioned, okay, let's start with this idea of when my children grow up, what do I want them to say about me? When my kids grow up, what do I want those little gremlins, those little jokers, my son is now, I mean, he could put his chin on my head, y'all. I'm short, but I mean, golly. No one prepares you for your son putting his head on your head. Like no one's talking about these traumatic moments. Okay. So now that I'm his mom through this very interesting season of life, what kind of conversations do we need to have? What I want them to say about me when I grow up one day and when they grow up and I'm 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, when I'm gone, what I want them to say about me as their mom. I want them to say I affirmed them and we had joy. We laughed together. We did stuff. We went on road trips this was, I taught them about the Lord and I gave them a lofty example of what a godly woman, wife, mother was like. Like I want them to have that story. I want them to have that story. What are some traditions in your family? Here's another question. What are some traditions that you want your family to repeat when they are adults? Habits, generational curses that were broken. What do you want them to take from you, from your relationship, from your family, and replicate in their own? What do you want them to do? I want my daughter to be able to write her own ticket, that she can do things on her own terms. My husband and I are very much interdependent, codependent, whatever word you want to say. We rock together real hard. Like we just listen, whatever needs to happen for the family, we're going to do what we need to do. I also want for my daughter to say, I'm building something that I love. She don't have to be an entrepreneur. I think right now she wants to be a doctor. Okay. She doesn't have to be any one thing, but I want for her to be able to say, this is work that grounds me and I love this work. Okay. And then are there some things that you don't want your children to include? Are there some things happening in your home right now that you don't want your kids to have a marriage like that? You don't want your daughter to have an experience of what womanhood looks like if she did exactly what you're doing. If your daughter replicated exactly what you're doing, would you be honored? Or would you feel like, I really hope she takes better care of herself? I really hope she feels independent enough to say yes to something that she feels really strongly about. I really feel like I hope she builds her own just enough, even if it's just her nails or her extra things, that she has something that offers value to her as a person. Okay. Hi, Delisha. It's okay. We're glad you're here. Okay. What do you want them to say about you? If your daughter grows up and parents like you, loves on herself like you, rests like you, works like you, invests in herself like you, would you be honored or would you be like, I wish I would have shown her something better? If your sons married a woman like you, would you feel honored or would you feel like, I wish I would have shown something better? All of this has to be incorporated in the family vision. Okay. So it's the ability for you to see your family's future, even if it doesn't exist yet. Okay. That's the ability. That's what we're moving towards. That's what we're working towards, is this bigger picture, not just this small, like, I just want to do enough to get by. Like it has to be all encompassing. On my list is never all of my laundry will finally be done. It just won't happen. As soon as I get all the laundry done and it's all put away, somebody's going to walk around wearing clothes. They're going to do it every time. Every single time they're going to do it. They're going to get dressed and they're going to go outside. And they're going to come in and they're going to stink. Every time is what they do. So I've adjusted my family vision. Like I wish, I don't have the photo anymore. I got to find it again. But y'all, I used to be so OCD-ish after my dad had passed. I remember having a picture and I put it on Facebook and I told everybody I was being ridiculous. Like it was like a spoon, a paper clip, and like a rubber band that one of my small kids was playing with. And I was so frustrated. I had been cleaning all day and I looked down and saw these three little items on the floor. And Stacy, I went off. I was like, y'all don't love me. Y'all don't care about how hard I work, all these things. And I realized I caught myself in that moment. I said, Christina, these are some things you need to address. Because you have a home with three small children and you're frustrated at two or three little items that are sitting on the floor. There's something bigger afoot that you just don't feel like you are taking up space in this world right now. You don't feel like you're doing what you really want to. It's okay to do what you want to do. That's okay. Like, and not in a way that dishonors God, right? We're not talking about, okay, you want to go to Vegas and wild out. We're not talking about that. Okay. No husband, nobody. Just do what you want to do. We're not talking about that. But we're talking about honoring the voice inside of you that says, this is the person I see myself becoming. That should be on the vision too. That should be on the plan. That should be a part of the strategy. That I'm making my time work for this strategy. I'm making my investments work towards this vision. I'm making my ability to see a part of the vision. Okay. And I'm going to wrap up this thematic with this idea. Okay. Which is, and I was teaching this is a couple days ago. I was teaching this, and it just came to my mind. Habakkuk 2:2, okay, which talks about write the vision, very familiar passage of scripture. Write the vision, make it plain, okay, that the person that is running, that they can endure, right? They can get to the end. And then there's a really important part of that scripture that says, the vision is yet for an appointed time, even if it tarries. Don't be stressed out. It will come, even if it takes a minute. It's for this appointed time. And so I believe that vision is for a specific moment. It's for a certain time. There's a time for you to start the vision. There's a time for you to give a deadline to the vision, to the thing that you're accomplishing. Okay? The vision is for an appointed time, both starting and finishing. And so you as a leader, as a woman, you have to honor both of them. Okay. You have to honor both. You got to honor both. Okay. There's a time to start. There's also a time to finish. So I have a vision already for the Mamathon conference that's in October. It's all the way in October. All right. But internally, I'm in November. I'm just checking off the marks that I need to as I move towards October so I can feel the fruition from what's going to happen then in November. We're going to open our mastermind up again in November. We're going to have all this great stuff. I'm coaching my clients through this summer. We're going to mastermind with them at the event. Like I'm thinking of all of these things that need to get done. I'm doing these checklists. Okay. But it's all a part of the vision. I want to show my kids a mom who has work that she loves and she finishes what she starts. Every year, the conference is part of that for me. Okay. Loving my clients and serving them well. All of this is a part of that for me. Being prayerful with my children, taking them to experience certain things so that they can't say they weren't exposed to new opportunities and new greatness and all these things, right? All of this is a part of our Garrett family vision. We started homeschooling as a part of our family vision, wanting my children to have more time with their amazing dad. And with his current schedule at the time, and he was in school and working and pastoring and all these things, we started homeschooling for that vision, for that picture. To make sure I have 4 handsome Black boys. Okay, what do I need to do to make sure that they become who I see they can become? What do we need to incorporate into our family? What do you need to incorporate into your family to make sure in the future, this is who I see you're going to become. I'm willing to commit to that today. I want to be a mom who keeps her word. I want to be a mom who has work that she loves and is committed to it. I want to be a wife who supports her husband. I want to be a wife and a mom and a present woman in my family. We're the matriarchs now. Like whether y'all realize it or not, it's on you. They're talking about people not barbecuing like they used to. Somebody said the 30 something, 40 somethings, 50 somethings don't have a backyard. We're the matriarchs now. We're the ones now who are creating the legacy for the next generation. I have nieces and nephews who are grown and married. Okay? So this is what we're working to create. You're the matriarch now. What picture do you want to create for that next generation, for your children who are coming up behind you? What are you going to create for them? What kind of picture of womanhood will you show them? I want to show my daughter a mama who is like, listen, I have this goal, and every single time I set a goal, I achieve it with balance, with a smile, with naps. Okay. Natalie said, amen. Where are the family reunions? Right? That's because y'all ain't planned it. y'all are the hostesses now. Y'all are the people. Y'all are what the world is waiting for. And I think as we plan our vision, as I wrap up this first session, I really want for us to be able to assess and do some math. Okay. Do the math for yourself. Do the homework for yourself and say, you know what? These are some things that I need to do and edit on. Here are some places where I was honoring this limitation. I'm not anymore. I told my family I wasn't going to overbook us. You find yourself overbooking. You told yourself we weren't going to be held up by this. You found yourself back in that place again. You told yourself we're going to slow down and spend more family time and do this and do that. And you see yourself and you're going back to where you used to be before. Wait a minute. We got to do some edits. Let's recheck for what the family vision is calling for. If it's outside of the vision, I'm so sorry. Thank you for the opportunity, but I have to politely decline. There have been multiple things this year. I told my husband, sometimes you got to go into a me season. That this is what we are working on as the Garrett family. Everything that's taken us away from that. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'm going to have to politely decline. Thank you so much for inviting me. Everyone wants to take, not advantage. Everyone wants to borrow from your expertise or your this or your consistency or how you show up in the world. But if it's taking you consistently away from who you're really supposed to be, then listen, you might have to press pause for a little while. You might have to press pause for a little while, mama, and say, thank you so much. But right now I got to focus on my vision. I got to focus on my family right now. I may have to say, thank you so much, but this is out of alignment with who I need to be right now. Thank you for the offer. But yeah, thank you, but no thanks. Okay. Because if it takes me off of the plan and the work that I said I was going to do for my family, right? And it's not in a selfish way. It's in a way of these are the people that I'm in kingdom partnership with. When I get to heaven, God is, of course, going to ask me how I treated all of you, but especially the people that I live with. Can I be patient with them? Can I be loving with them? Even when I want to go off, can I still do that? Can I still be that person that can be fruitful in those ways? We start there. All of the big dreams, all the big goals, the audacious vision, this bigger picture is all for you. Like I was talking to a client earlier today, was doing a discovery call. I was like, listen, I already believe in you. She has these really incredible ideas, like with her book. And I was like, what about if we did this right here? Like, I know that you're thinking about it right here, but this is so remarkable. Let's go here. And she was like, oh my goodness, everything you're saying is completely in alignment. I'm like, bet, let's do it. Okay. So let's just picture that this is on the other side of me organizing my life. This is just part one. And I know Sometimes we're feeling like, and I'm about to wrap up. Sometimes we feel like, I agree with Natalie, our family's our first ministry. Sometimes we get tired of it being first. Okay. So here's what I want us to walk away with today. Put your family right there. God first. We know family is second. Okay. I just want you to think of yourself, your needs, your desires, your dreams right there with it. Can we do that? I'm not saying, oh, here's a person you want to be, family over everything, or whoever you want to be. I can't be that right now. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. What I am saying is, can you value your family and your vision as much as you do the other stuff? Because some of us will work so hard for other people's things. We'll show up real good for other people, including our family. We'll show up great for those other folks, but we don't show up for ourselves and our own work like we should. Okay. So can we just say that we'll do a little more 50-50? Can we say that my vision, my goals, what I want to celebrate at the end of the year, the person that I become by the end of 2024, I want to have that, like, where I can see a healthy ratio, a healthy back and forth between the two. Sometimes it's 40-60. We got kids throwing up this week or something, like, oh, that's happening. So I might need to do some ebbs and flows with how much time or how much capacity I have. But what if there were, I try and recognize them both on an equal basis every week. Okay. Instead of, oh, this is over this and it dominates this. Or some of us do our vision and then what family? Some of us are so in love with our vision and who we should be, our families are going to be broken up because you out here trying to be the American superhero. Or not American, because we have people all over the world. You out here trying to be a superhero more than you want to be present for your family because you feel like it's me season. Okay. So let's just say, going into the Pillars of Purpose, we want to be more productive. We have to honor our family vision. And what if the vision you have for yourself, who you want to be this year, what you want to celebrate this year, is equal to the needs of your family? One is not bigger or better than the other. One is not more important than the other. Any of that. They go together. They go hand in hand. Maybe some weeks that ratio might shift a little bit. Some weeks family requires more of you. As I go into conference season, conference and mamathon may require a little bit more of me, having more meetings and doing more things. And now I'm coaching more clients. So sometimes it doesn't ebb and flow. But let me tell you something. I coach on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay. And what I don't do is decide I'm going to have this all day back to back to back call schedule Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't hang out because I got more clients. As one client is going out and graduating, somebody else is coming in. And that's how it works. But I don't intentionally overbook myself trying to hurry up and get there, be there, arrive. Okay. I believe that we stretch our capacity in increments, not just trying to jump in and I'm every woman. Flag on the play. Okay. So as we wrap up today, I'm going to make sure I send this out to the other ladies who are on our email list as well, in case my tech issues made them miss the live. However, I really want for you all to take away today. This is the big picture. Creating the family vision means looking at, who do I want to be who do I want to be at the end of this year? Who do I want to be 5 years from now? What do I want my family to say about me in 20 years? And then letting our day-to-day goals go with that. Okay? All right. Quick call to action number 1. The Mamathon Conference is October 25th through the 27th in Atlanta, Georgia. Come and just take over the Renaissance Hotel with us that October, okay? If you have questions, if you want the link or information, then 100% send me a DM after this live is over for conference details, okay? Number two, if you are a Mamathon conference, a Mamathon client, okay, you already know you come to the conference in VIP style. Your ticket is already covered as a part of your coaching. I know. Y'all get to spend all day Friday with me, and I'll be masterminding with our ladies. I think now we're at about 20 clients who will be there that Friday. But if you want to be one of them, if you decided, Christina, I'm ready to turn up the heat this year and I want to be a part of the client community, I know that I need more of this for my specific situation, and you want to coach with me for 3 months or for 6 months, then that door is open to you as well. I'm not going to give y'all a long, drawn out call to action. We'll talk about more ways to work together later this week, but I just want for you all to know the door is open to you. Okay, so I will see you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Maybe I think I have a client from 10 to 11. So as soon as 11 o'clock hits, I'll be sliding out of that Zoom and right over here to come and meet you guys to talk more about the pillars of productivity. Tomorrow's is communicating your needs, communicating your vision to the people who are in your life so that they can receive and respond to what's coming next. Okay, love you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time.